let's unpack the Grammys. I mean, I didn't watch it, but we have everything we need. Speedy's gathered it. Adler's gathered it. I want to go ahead. First of all, can we move off of Kanye and Bianca that they weren't asked to be there? They showed up, and then police removed them. Is that official?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing multiple headlines and stories. Daily Mail is one we look at, and it says they were escorted by police and asked to leave.
Yeah. That's
She appeared in what looked like a trench coat of some kind, and
like a big fur coat. Yeah.
And then they get to the red carpet, and he instructs her to, I guess, drop the coat, and she did.
Boy, are we entertaining? And I know this thought's been out there. Is she trapped? Is she some sort of slave?
It's a weird situation.
What is going on?
Because she'll be in this weird, like, blank stare, not talk to anybody, robot thing where you think she's in some abusive relationship, and then she'll every once in a while do an interview where she's like, I'm an architect, and
really?
we're married, and all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay, and evidently she's people claim she's smarter than she seems, because right now she seems to be not being used for her brains.
Well, let me go to this, Adler. Now you're opening the door to what I'm saying. If we keep seeing these different presentations, is the presentation that concerns us, is it possible that she's under the influence of something that's been slipped into her drink or into her? Is he drugging her? Is this a Bill Cosby situation? I mean, what's going on here?
Right. But then also is she just want fame and attention, and she knows that she can just play this game, and so she's just playing along with Kanye West's crazy hype machine that he's always
and this
always
hung in a
creating.
stare look that she gives. Is that just her look when she's about to do something bizarre?
I think so.
That's where we go. We don't blink. We just stare, and it's really.
I'm seeing reports now.
Bizarre.
It is so strange. I'm seeing reports now that the claims that Kanye and Bianca were escorted out are not true, and that Kanye West simply walked the carpet and got in his car and left.
Okay.
He came, did what he came to do.
All right.
You know, it was a
Put
real...
your jacket back on, we're leaving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then they need to tell these publications, hey, maybe they saw police there and assume. Sure. I don't know. But
it's weird either way.
Yeah.
It's weird either way. So put your jacket on. Let's get back in the car, and to quote the great Joe Cocker, but you can leave your hat on.
Yeah. Well, you know, you gotta have the worst dress list, and Bianca is number one on that list.
Well, sandwich bag is probably not going to get a lot of designers fired up.
I don't think so.
Well, the thing that's going on too is we know that Kanye has some issues. He's been open about those, and we know that medication he seems to do better on when he goes on his own, not so good. But then I think there's also, there's all kinds of ways to be famous. And one of them is just to be weird.
Yeah. I give you that.
There's also be super talented. That's a good one.
Be good at what you do.
But there's also just be super weird.
So weird.
Yeah, sing beautifully.
Right. Write incredible songs.
Yeah, or ride in a huge egg on the carpet. You know, come out of an egg.
Right.
That's another way to be famous.
Whatever happened to I'm an outstanding musician who writes great songs and can sing them really well.
Yeah.
That's one way.
Yeah, it is.
So be good at something.
There's that.
That's one thing. Yeah. Or have something accidentally, I'm doing air quotes, accidentally leak out.
Sure.
Create your own headlines by that.
Yeah.
Well, and there they are.
So sad.
All right, so now I want to take on this next thing. So Kanye is, perplexing story number one.
Mm-hmm.
It looks now like I just came, I was weird, I got in my car, I left. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's this Beyonce thing. I really, again, I don't pretend to be an expert on who should win a Grammy and who shouldn't. I'm not as informed as I once was, as you heard last week. Ask us about 80s music, and then you better have some time. Ask us about what's going on right now. We're going to have to use our ability to go out and find out stuff from other journalists, because we don't know that much about it. But this ongoing Beyonce's country album, do I have this correct, that she won Country Album of the Year?
She did.
And then won Album of the Year in any genre
Yes.
with the same album?
I think so.
Cowboy
right?
Carter?
Cowboy Carter, yeah.
Cowboy Carter. I know that she won, album of the year for the Cowboy Carter album.
Also country album of the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all want to hear that announcement? Taylor Swift made the announcement.
And Taylor Swift didn't win one trophy last night. Not one.
That's
yeah,
right.
that
Well,
was.
But
the Swifties aren't happy.
Yeah. Well, she won the Travis Kelce Award, though. All right.
Yeah, I noticed she's wearing red for the Chiefs.
The Chiefs
Go
Super Bowl
ahead.
this week.
It's a message. It's a meaning.
It's a message.
By the way, just got this in. Super Bowl will be played in shorts and T-shirts. Okay.
With flags.
And flags. All right.
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
And the Grammy goes to Cowboy Carter.
She acted surprised.
She
too.
has
Did
to
you
act
see that?
surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't believe I won. Even though if I didn't win, I would tell everybody that they discriminated against me because they hate black people.
Right.
Yeah.
So even though there's no evidence that anybody's ever hated Beyonce other than maybe they just don't like your music or they're just tired of it.
Hey,
Right.
Shabuzi proves that statement wrong right there.
Yeah, well, and then also on behalf of Greg, who's not able to be with us today, and of course, Greg always keeping us updated on her role in the Illuminati.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Hey.
he makes some good points.
Well, some of his points are actually pretty scary.
Right. See what Jay-Z's at the table too. Saw that.
So
Plus, they're holding up little triangles to their eyes at basketball games and things like that. That doesn't help.
it doesn't.
No.
People are on the text line earlier. They're saying that it looks like there's some conversation between Beyonce and Jay-Z that look, don't act up when Taylor Swift gives
Yeah.
you the award.
Right.
Don't say anything or
Just be nice.
just be nice. So
Well, they're
and-
two queens. It's hard to have two queens in the same room.
I
it
know.
is. But,
But Shabuzi brought it.
yeah,
Everybody in the bar.
yeah, he always does. So we'll be back. It just all feels, I don't know.
This is the Rick Burgess Show.
All right. So and by the way, anybody out there? Did any of you ever heard this Cowboy Carter album? Is it a good album? Did it deserve country album of the year and overall album of the year? I don't know. If you go to one of my playlists, you won't find a lot of Beyonce there, but it's not because she's not talented. It just not my cup of tea. And her doing country. Maybe it's great. The whole wide world seems to be doing country now, so I mean it's great. I don't know. I can't. Me commenting on it, it's not because I've listened to it, so I can't really comment on it.
Yeah.
It's,
Even though, and I don't know what the deal is here, but even having a 20 and 23 and 28-year-old, they don't talk about it a whole lot either.
Right.
It was an industry hyped album. I listened to the single. I gave it a shot just to see what even is this.
Right.
And it ain't Texas. It ain't Hold'em. I'll tell you that. It's in the song.
Well, it almost feels like, okay, here I go.
Come on.
Rick. Why? Why, Rick? You know how people were talking about like when John Thomas was in here and we all started enunciating better because of the way that he was speaking. And then we always laugh about, and it makes us grossly uncomfortable, so much that you're going to have to just sit tight and get through this. I promise I won't land on it long.
Okay.
Because I know if you're a secondhand embarrassment person, this is one of those level fives. And that's when white people begin to try to talk hip around black people. And they start doing the, can you go the other way? Can Beyonce try to be country and be like country folk and country singers, and it almost feels like an act more than a genuine attempt at country music?
It does feel like an act.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she can get away with it though.
Well, she is Beyonce.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Queen Bee.
Yes.
So, okay. All right. So then we have, now there was a lot of, as you expect when you're dealing with entertainment in the industry, a lot of left wing speeches and, always, in the fake world, even acting like there's some sort of problem that doesn't even exist. And by the way, when you're dealing with emotions, remember you're never going to be able to give them enough. And as we've said about trying to reason with unreasonable people, there's a sign when you should stop when an unreasonable person, and you'll go, oh, there's one. When they ask you a question about something, you actually answer it, and they don't like your answer, even though that was the answer to their question. Once that happens, and you go, oh, well, here's the answer to that, and then nothing changes, move on.
Yep.
Okay, these people are just going to suck the energy out of you. But then I think there was this artist that's like MAGA, pro-Trump, and was wearing one of the red hats that says, by the way, the hat stays on.
Yes.
Who is this person?
Joy Vila.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Joy Vila, she has gone viral a couple times for going to these super liberal events and wearing like that Make America Great Again dress you might have seen. But here she is at the Grammys last night talking to Hollywood Reporter. And this is on the red carpet. And
is she an artist or she just a celebrity? Is she a music artist? Or
she does. She records music.
And she's Latina?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
She
here we
sure
go.
is.
All right.
Yep.
I think the ones that should be deported are being deported. To be honest, I'm a Latina. My family came from this country to this country legally. And I love to see rapists, human traffickers deported. I don't want to see them here. I want us to be free for all colors, for all people. Like, that's what makes America great again. So we can create, so we can live. Like, as an artist, as a musician, I want to be able to walk at night and not think that I'm going to get killed by an illegal alien. And so those are the people getting deported, and those are the people that should get deported.
I don't even I have nothing to add to that.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
about
against that?
That's about as logical as you can be, and I don't understand people's argument against that.
All right, I just followed her. on X. That's it.
You know,
you
well-
say something like that, I'm gonna follow you.
Well, it also is great timing today that we're having someone who's dealing with human trafficking on the show, Jared Hudson, coming up, so he can speak to this. And I bet when he sees what an open border has created, what she just said is just so logical and so common sense that it's frustrating that people can't hear that and go, yeah, now that is true. A secure border and vetting people out makes a world of sense. Now let's try to vet them out in the most efficient way possible and work on that. I've never understood how anyone can defend an open border. It seems impossible to defend.
It really is. It really is impossible.
I don't understand.
Who's against those worst of the worst walking the streets in America?
Right.
Who's against rounding them up? Because we know where they are, which tells you what the last administration was all about. I mean, they knew where they were, and getting them out of here.
Sure.
Who's against that?
Well, y'all are clearly xenophobic,
Right.
and I'm not going to stand for it personally.
Now, right here, isn't it now when we're supposed to say, I don't care, Margaret?
Yes.
Is this where you use it? I'm not sure where to use that, and I want to start using it.
What's the exact? 'cause
Frankly,
it's so
it is-
good.
Frankly, I don't care, Margaret.
Yeah, I don't care, Margaret.
I don't know. We'll
Frankly,
have to
I
go
don't
back and
care.
look at
I think
that.
we're adding Gone with the Wind.
Are we?
I think we're
Okay.
putting Gone with the Wind
Yeah.
in there. We're Rhett Butler.
Yeah,
Okay, we are.
Yes,
We are. Gosh,
I don't think, but I've been adding it too, and I was called out on it over the weekend, going, you're combining Rhett Butler with this. So
Really, I don't care. Maybe it's that.
Yeah, I don't-
Frankly, my Margaret, I don't care at all.
I don't think he says my Margaret.
No, that again, that's Gone with the Wind.
Okay, I'm combining Gone with the Wind and JD Vance.
Yes, you are. So
Here's the clip. He says
Okay.
it right at the end. Do we want to just make sure we're saying
Yeah,
that?
sure.
Yeah, we need to. We need to get this one.
that sounds good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly, he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But-
care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and
I don't really care, Margaret.
I don't really care.
I don't
care,
really.
Margaret.
Frankly, Margaret. No, okay.
No, it's just
Right.
we adding that frankly.
No.
I don't really care,
Care,
Margaret.
I don't
That's
really
it.
care, Margaret.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got it.
I got it.
I'll probably forget.
I
but-
will.
Yeah.
And
I
I'll
would
still
also-
put Franklin in there.
I would also like to ask this: is Margaret now replacing Karen?